Right here, down. Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Let's do this. Family, I'll do 1, 2, 3.
You see, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
What's going on, Eagles Nation and TMTP family? Welcome to the Main Thing Podcast presents. It's your boy, Mr. Owens. And after further review, the call stands. I'm still official with no stripes. Welcome back to another episode of the Main Thing Podcast presents. Check it out. I got some dope topics that I want to discuss with you all and our supporters and everybody today. But before I get into that, make sure to continue to like these videos, continue flooding those comment sections, share and subscribe to the content and community. And last but not least, don't forget to turn on them notification bells so you don't miss when we drop this pressure on y'all, all right? But on a serious note, with all those components that I just named to you all, it does help with the growth of the community and our channel. And it also brings some visibility to our content. It helps with the algorithm. Now, let me know, y'all, who don't want no more of the Main Thing Podcast presents? I know I do, and I know y'all do too. So just make sure y'all just keep doing what y'all been doing, all right? We appreciate y'all. But now, on to these topics that I would like to discuss with you all again. So for the first topic is the NFL is attacking the Philadelphia Eagles again. Why? Here we go again. Por qué? You see what I'm saying? Why? Why do they continue to attack the Philadelphia Eagles when the Eagles are always successful? That might be, I might just had to answer my own question, but again, why? After we're coming off the heels of the tush push being upheld, so now Roger Goodell wants to question the integrity of the salary cap system. Now, for y'all that don't know, the salary cap was introduced by the NFL in 1994. It was a deal, an agreement between the players union and the NFL itself. In 1994, the salary cap was $34.6 million. Now that number has ballooned and skyrocketed up to $279.2 million in this time, making it the highest in league history. Now that is a $23.8 million increase up from the 2024 season when that salary cap was $255.4 million. Roger Goodell became the commissioner of the NFL in 2006 following Paul Tagliabue, who retired from his position. Now, Roger Goodell always is looking to expand and make the brand big and global. It's no knock on him for that, but this is where I don't understand the issue between the NFL and the Philadelphia Eagles, because the Philadelphia Eagles have always had a rich history in the NFL. We're a bold organization. We have a bold owner in Jeffrey Lurie. A lot of teams want to model their organizations after the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, with the sustained success that we have had over the past 20 seasons, I don't blame them for wanting to do that because even in these last 10 years, we've been to 3 Super Bowls, winning 2 of them. We've been to 3 Super Bowls, winning 2 of them. Now, again, with this recent success, the Philadelphia Eagles have spent $115 million more than the Las Vegas Raiders did in 2024. So that puts in context how much the Eagles desire to have a championship culture. We're going to be in the top 7 in the league for the upcoming 2025 season in cash spending. Now, ownership groups, league officials, they don't like the fact when the Eagles have an ample amount of money and capital to do what they do. Of course, having Howie Roseman as a general manager, you can't have anybody better. He knows the cap situations from the front and back. It's nothing to Howie Roseman. Of course, him becoming an intern in 2000 and really diving deep and studying the salary cap. It's no shock that Howie Roseman legitimately is a genius when it comes to the salary cap. But why I feel a lot of other ownerships are mad, and all why league officials are mad, but mainly specific ownership groups, is because the lack of success that they have. They don't have no clarity, or no destination with the structure of their organization, and then as well, with no culture established, it's a impoverished organization. So seeing the Philadelphia Eagles continuing to do this season in and season out, it's mind blowing to them, and they get upset. But the Eagles operate with, we're going to pivot if we don't see what we like, or if something's not working out, we're not going to stick on that too long. And hence, a person who comes to mind is Carson Wentz. When we paid him all that money, I believe 120 million, and then we pivoted off of him to get rid of him, and we took the hit with the dead cap money. Even with Hassan Reddick, the recent news with him, he skipped the first day of OTAs, even though he just got a $14 million contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles know how to do business. Their business structures, their business principles all align with success. If you're not with the culture, if you're not with winning, then the Philadelphia Eagles don't want you in the organization. It's plain and simple. But where the Eagles differ from a lot of organizations and teams is the Eagles mantra is simple. So what the Eagles do is they like to extend players early. So typically, rookies and undrafted rookies, unless you're a first round pick that receives the 5th year option, you usually get 4 years on your initial contract. What the Eagles like to do is, after the player's 3rd season is completed, they like to restructure that contract and convert their salary cap into signing bonuses, which helps the salary cap over a period of time get diluted, so the salary cap won't balloon and be a big issue down the road. Now, it's funny that the Eagles operate like this because this aligns a lot of the contracts with the core guys here, align with the 2029 season, where the NFL is supposed to renegotiate broadcast contracts and get into very lucrative brand deals with the streaming services, TV revenue. That's why it makes sense to be, again, hyper aggressive in the beginning of those broadcast contracts, because as the contract plays out, then you're able to manipulate the salary cap and make adjustments while that contract is being honored. But what separates us from a lot of other teams is you have to have an owner that's willing to spend the big bucks. Like Scarface said, the big bucks. You have the big bucks. You have to have an owner that's willing to spend that type of money. And we check that box, just like we check that box on the field. We have Jeffrey Lurie, who's willing to spend that money, who is willing to spend that type of cash to put a great product on the field. Now, it's 2 teams that come in mind, the Bengals and the Raiders. You see how their ownership is. They don't really like to spend a lot of money, but if you want to go over this past decade or even 2 decades, they haven't had a lot of success outside of the Bengals playing against the Rams in the Super Bowl a few years ago and losing. They haven't had that much success as the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, since people are playing the salary cap game and understanding how to do salary conversions and how to do the void years, Roger Goodell wants to jump in and say, oh, the integrity of the salary cap system should be studied. That should be monitored. Why it's so infuriating to me is because the team that benefits the most from these salary cap systems and knowing how to manipulate the salary cap systems is the Philadelphia Eagles. We've been doing this since Howie Roseman has legitimately been the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles. He has studied day in and day out to become the GM that he is currently. And then again, it alludes back to the type of ownership that we have. He wants, since 1994, Jeffrey Lurie, that's all he wants to do is just bring championships to the city of Philadelphia. And we all play a part in it. As much as you don't know where our money goes to when we spend it on the Philadelphia Eagles, that goes to, again, the ticket sales, the merchandise sales, the broadcast deals, and the revenue and things like that. But it's allocated to player salaries. It's allocated to helping the cleanliness of the facility, and also paying staffers. Though we want a great product on the field, it takes all of us to put a great product on the field. Also, the money is divvied up into player development, which we are very, very high on here in Philadelphia. That's the practice squad and things of that nature. But how revenue streams are affected by winning seasons, it's simple. Again, ticket sales, merchandise sales, sponsorship revenue, media and broadcasting rights, and the local economy. So significant, we saw significant growth in ticket sales and merchandise sales after the 2018 season. Of course, that's when we won our first Super Bowl and our first Lombardi. But data shows, with the Eagles being a successful Super Bowl champion, and they're capable of leveraging their achievements for continued growth, and also continue to field competitive rosters and winning cultures. Now, this other topic I wanted to discuss with you guys is more of a fun topic. I wanted to discuss that first topic because those are the type of topics that aren't featured heavily in. I feel that our supporters should know what salary cap is and how contracts are handled and things like that. So that's why I definitely wanted to touch on that. But this one right here is more of a fun topic. This is the NFL's Football Power Index, the FPI, for the 2025 season. Now, this FPI index gives projections and then also Super Bowl chances. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are favorites to win Super Bowl 60, coming in with 12% chance to win it, according to the model. This is the lowest team, a preseason favorite, has been since the model was featured in 2015. The FPI's overall predictive ratings are primarily based on win totals from the betting market in conjunction with each team's schedule. As well, other factors include a team starting quarterback and a special teams rating that incorporates the specific kickers. Now, the NFL's FPI ratings power index for 2025 is as follows. I put the 10 teams that had the highest FPI rating, and then also the 10 teams that had the best Super Bowl odds. So the list reads as the Eagles at a plus 5.5, the Chiefs at a plus 5.4, the Ravens at a plus 5.2, the Lions at a plus 4.8, the Bills at a plus 4.5, the Commanders at a plus 2.7, the Bengals at a plus 2.5, the Packers at a plus 2.3, the Chargers at a plus 2.1, and the Rams at a plus 1.8. And now the best chance to win the Super Bowl is, again, the Philadelphia Eagles at 12%, the Kansas City Chiefs at 11%, the Buffalo Bills at 10%, the Baltimore Ravens at 9%, the Detroit Lions at 8%, the Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Rams tying at 5%, and then finally the Chargers, Bengals, and 49ers receiving 4% of the vote. Now, these models, of course, you got to take these models with a grain of salt because these models don't factor in injuries and inclement weather and things like that. But it's funny how we're at the top of the FPI index and then as well as the percentage to win the Super Bowl, but they had to mention that we had the lowest percentage of winning the Super Bowl since the FPI's introduction in 2015. It's just straight shade every time when it's regarding the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't get it. All we do is win. All we do is compete at a very high level. And I just feel that no matter what it is, if it's media, if it's the NFL, if it's opposing teams, they're always going to find a way to try to derail the Eagles. Hence, you see now Hard Knocks wants to feature the NFC East towards the end of the season. And of course, who's going to be the team that they mainly focus on? Even AJ Brown came out and said that he's not a fan of it. Me and Big Hus did a segment on Hard Knocks and why we don't like it. But they're going to try to find a way to see how the Eagles continue this sustained success. Now, with the Philadelphia Eagles success, I believe it's a theory why the NFL is having an issue with the success of the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, we had to figure out the why the NFL is doing this. And we all know the NFL is a business. It's geared towards viewership and ratings. You don't want to have a dominant team such as the Philadelphia Eagles continuing to win season in and season out. It won't be a good look for the public view, especially again, I like I said, the NFL wants to go global and things like that. So if one team continues to dominate, that's not going to be a good look for the NFL as well. Fans won't in the long term be a fan of the NFL. But again, when it comes to teams with smaller markets than Philadelphia, such as the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, and finally the New England Patriots, it's easier for the NFL to push them because they're more likable. They have players that are more likable in their eyes. But obviously with the Philadelphia Eagles continue to do what we're doing, it doesn't matter what you try to do to us. We have the best roster in the NFL. We have the best ownership in the NFL. We have the best players in the NFL, and we're going to continue competing for Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls. So y'all just got to continue to deal with it. I'm sorry to tell y'all that that's just what y'all going to have to do. But I wanted to know from you all, how do y'all feel about the NFL continuously trying to come after the Eagles? And also, how do y'all feel about the percentage of us winning the Super Bowl and the FPI index where we're ranked? Obviously, we're number one. But do you think that we should be further from other teams? We're just about right, or it should be a change? Let us know down in the comment sections. But again, I thank you all for coming to check out this content, to our loyal supporters for continuing to support the content. Again, to our new supporters, welcome to the community and the family. But look, again, do y'all job. Remember to do y'all job. All right. Look, it's simple. Make sure to just continue to like these videos, continue to flood those comment sections, share and subscribe the content and the community. And last but not least, don't forget to turn on the notification bells, also known as the Liberty Bell looking thingies, so you don't miss when Swoop comes out with the Eagles news and updates. But again, it's been a pleasure speaking with you all today. I hope you all continue to have a great rest of the day and continue to dominate the rest of this week. But if you don't know, I go by Mr. Owns, and this is the Main Thing podcast, where we keep the main thing the main thing. From action pack to jam pack, when it comes to the birds, just like the city of Philly, you already know. I got your back. But until next time, all right? Y'all be blessed.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.